Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Ask an Islander. We are back this morning with Marcie Garza, our new resident dietitian on campus. We're so excited to have her. If y'all didn't get a chance, check out our post from last month as well. We were talking with Career Services, learned a lot about interviewing. They have some really exciting events coming up. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
So you're pretty new to the campus?
This is the start of my second semester here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's a beautiful campus, really great students.
So beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
I love it.
Wonderful. Well, tell me a little bit about your position and kind of what your goals are. And
Sure. So my position came about based on really a student vote referendum, I think back in 2013, so several years ago, where students approved at an overwhelming percentage, I think 97% approval, to have a dietitian come on board and kind of justify that position through student fees. So when students enroll here and pay their fees, they not only get free access to the Dugan Wellness Center and all of the great programming that we offer through the rec center, like group fitness, access to our cardio machines, pool that's opening on Monday, that kind of stuff. They also have an opportunity to meet with me at no additional cost. So if you are a student here, if you've paid your fees, you've essentially paid for the opportunity to visit with me.
That is so neat. So they can just set up an appointment time with you and come in and chat?
Yeah, so I really prefer, just because I'm definitely getting busier this semester, I prefer either stop by my office, if I'm available, we can set up a time to chat. Give me a call, leave me a message if I don't answer, or send me an email, and I really just try and accommodate the student schedule. So if you're interested in meeting with me, give me a call or email, let me know the best day of the week that works for you and time of day, and we usually meet for about an hour. We go over, what the student is interested in learning about, what they're trying to manage, whether it is a new lifestyle like vegetarianism or a new diagnosis like diabetes or celiac disease. Or if they are trying to make big gains in the gym, they want to gain muscle, we can talk about that, weight loss, so a wide range of things we can discuss.
Well, I live near the beach, so all of these things are important. We're all starting to think about it with the sun coming out.
Yeah, with spring break right around the corner, and then summer break a few months after that,
That's awesome. That's amazing that you're just available to everyone.
Yeah, and so consultations, one-on-one consultations are kind of my bread and butter, but I love doing group seminars. We do event planning, so we have a lot of stuff coming up in the month of March, it being National Nutrition Month. So we want to do a lot of programming in March, so we have stuff ready to launch. We'll get sneak peeks out the last day of February, on February 28th. If you follow the Rec's social media at Islander Rec on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, we'll post stuff there.
Cool. That's exciting. Well, I'm excited to talk to you. We've got some questions that we had students submit to us. Some of them are pretty hilarious, and some of them are real concerns. So we're going to do a mix of both because it's fun. So I have one. I think this is I think this may be a little bit general, but I'm curious. We had a student ask, how do I find out how many calories I need to be eating per day?
That's a really great question, and so what you may find, and so I'm going to apologize ahead of time, is that a lot of my answers are, it depends.
Right.
And it's especially true because nutrition is a very new science, but it's extremely individualized. So from person to person, things can change. Even if you're talking about two ladies, same height, same age, same weight, there could be drastic differences in calorie needs. So I would say the best way to find out how many calories you need per day is to meet with me.
Shameless plug. What a great plug. I like it.
Right.
Subtle.
But what I've seen kind of as a trend in students coming through my office to visit with me is that a lot of times they are under the impression that they need a lot fewer calories than they actually need. And especially when I'm talking to somebody who's trying to lose weight, they're always shocked to hear that they can have more calories than they thought they could. And that really just comes down to the process of, if you're chronically under eating, you might see some weight loss initially, but then you kind of slow your metabolism down, which makes everything harder. So I just kind of want to lift that veil and let students know that I'm not going to sit down and take everything away. I mean, I don't think I couldn't if I tried. But a lot of times I'm giving you ideas on how to add things to what you're eating every day.
Okay, that's interesting. I like that. All right, so I like this because I'm kind of I also don't like salad. But this one is, I can't cook and I hate salad. What other options do I have for healthy foods?
Sure. So if you live on campus, you are required to have a meal plan, right? So dining services, Chartwell's has done a really good job of making some great options available that you can just, drop in somewhere and pick up. But if that's not the case for you, if you cook at home or you need to cook at home and nobody's making food for you, there are tons of options. So you don't necessarily have to go through a drive-through as your only option for food. The grocery store is my favorite place. And there are a lot of partially prepared or already prepared meals. The frozen section can be a beginner cook's best friend.
Yeah.
You can find fully cooked frozen chicken, fully cooked shredded beef, fully cooked pork chops that are grilled and not necessarily fried. So that's always helpful. You can just as easily find a wide variety of frozen vegetables. And if you're concerned about frozen versus fresh, I mean, I'm here to reassure you, frozen is just as good as fresh. Sometimes even better, because vegetables are picked at their peak freshness. So the most nutrients that they're ever going to have is when they're picked and then flash frozen. So everything kind of maintains and stays at its full level of integrity. So you're getting the best, green bean or the best broccoli.
That's
floret.
so interesting. I wouldn't even thought of that.
And it's frozen, so all you have to do is put it in the microwave. You can even put it on a pan at medium heat, cover it, let it thaw.
It's not going to go bad on you after a couple of days when you've been on campus and you forgot about the broccoli in the fridge. So I've heard.
It doesn't happen to you, I'm sure.
No.
And then you can also find frozen whole grains. So beyond just brown rice or white rice, you can find quinoa now, which is similar to rice in that it's like a pseudo grain and it has carbohydrates in it, but it's also rich in fiber, a higher level of protein than rice would have. So there are lots of options like couscous too, which is essentially a pasta, but it's it's a different version and it's frozen, already cooked, so you can just heat that up. Sweet potatoes you can get in the frozen section. Yeah, plantains you can get already in the frozen section. So it's really probably the place I would point somebody who would ask me that question. If you can't cook, go to the frozen section.
I love that. That's a great answer, Sam. Let's see, what do we have? Oh, this is one that actually I'm curious about too. When I've spent a late night at the library or in class, because I have classes till 9:30 sometimes, and I'm hungry, is it better to go to bed hungry or have a late night snack?
Have a late night snack.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not the answer you would think. You would think they'd be like, go to bed, have your oatmeal in the morning.
But usually that, let's say you have a class that ends at 9:30. I mean, there's so many students who come through and have a 7 p.m. class or a 4 p.m. class. And maybe it's more than one, it's back to back. So they'll eat their dinner or eat a meal early, say 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And then they feel like they have to kind of just go to bed hungry. By the time they wake up, it's 10 a.m., 9 a.m., so they've been more than 12 hours without food. And that's a fasting state. That's starvation, essentially. So your body is incredibly intelligent in that overnight it starts to slow things down. So that way, you're not eating in the middle of the night while you're asleep, most likely. There's always the exception.
I don't know.
But because of that, since you're not eating, your body has to learn how to kind of get through that ideally 10-hour sleep, right, of no eating, and function. So to do that, it kind of slows its metabolism. So if you're awake and you're walking and you're thinking and you're engaging in class or you're staying up late to study and you're not eating, you're not going to be functioning at full capacity. So it's much better to have a balanced snack, whether that's, a fold-over type sandwich with some chicken and whole wheat bread, or some Greek yogurt with granola and fruit. So have something.
Okay. All right. I'm a big hummus fan, so I have carrots and hummus are like my thing.
That's a great snack.
Okay, I love this question. It makes me laugh. This came in from a student. I'm living off of coffee and vending machine snacks. How long can I keep that going before I die?
I love the gravity of that
I know,
question.
like, no, really.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to answer it with, it depends. And I know there's like a little, funny humor to that. But, you really are not getting a super balanced diet if you're living off a vending machine. So the reality could be not very long.
Yeah.
But what I would say, something to kind of think about, food for thought. If you are living off of, like, fancy frappuccinos and candy bars, that kind of thing, and that's truly what you're doing. Let's say you're getting a frappuccino every morning that you're coming to school 5 days a week, and then you are going to the vending machine 3 times a day to kind of supplement your meal.
Yeah.
And spending maybe $1 to $1.50. Over the course of one semester, 3.5, maybe 4 months, you could easily be spending over $750. And so with that, I mean, you could like mail order, prepared meals.
Yeah.
Or you could go to places here in town and get, meals that are already prepared, delivered to you, and then you heat them up.
Yeah.
Or you could visit the frozen section and buy
probably save some money.
and save that money.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the food for thought I would leave to the student asking that question is, how long could you survive off that before you die? Well, I don't know. I don't really want to find out.
Yeah.
But you could definitely save a lot of money if you didn't.
Yeah. It'd probably be better for you too, like focus-wise and study-wise if you're not consuming that much sugar.
Right.
I know that our inclination is to reach for caffeine and reach for sugar to kind of pep ourselves up, but I think there are probably healthier ways to...
Yeah, especially if you're doing like candy bars and chips, that kind of stuff. Like, you really are what you eat. And so if you're eating something that you would characterize as a junk food, and that's what's sustaining you, I mean, you're going to feel pretty junky on the inside.
Yeah.
You're not going to have the focus. You're not going to have the mental stamina. You're not going to perform as well as you could on tests, especially over the long run.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a good answer.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. We talked about... Oh, this is interesting. People are kind of curious about kind of the gluten-free and kind of the vegan popularity. And so someone was asking, should they go gluten-free or vegan for health reasons? Like, is there like a health benefit to that, or is that kind of personal, really?
I think it depends. But really, when you're looking at gluten-free, I think that if you feel like you may have celiac disease, if you feel like when you eat pasta, when you eat bread, you get stomach pain in the pit of your stomach and you feel horrible and there's cramping and bloating. If those are symptoms that you experience, then definitely talk to a doctor. There's a test that you can do to check that out, but really then consider eliminating gluten. Otherwise, don't eat it. It's fine for the average person. And then veganism, that means it could be related to health, it could be personal reasons, but if that's something that you wanted to do, there's definitely a way to do it in a healthy way.
Right.
And I would encourage students to come visit with me to make sure that they're getting everything that they need.
Right. Not missing any nutrients or anything that are good for them. Perfect. Okay, so did you want to talk about kind of what you're working on right here before we wrap it up?
Yes,
because I think this is really amazing.
So, first of all, March is National Nutrition Month. It's a really exciting time in my life. And we have some great programming coming up. So follow the Duke and Wellness Center's website for information on events coming up next month. One of which I'm really excited about is grocery store tours. So we're partnering with HEB. The location off Alameda and Robert is where we'll be. So we'll host 3 tours that day. You can come either to 10 o'clock tour, 10 a.m. tour, 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. and we're going over ways to eat healthy on a budget. So I've put together a grocery list and accompanying meal plan to eat 3 meals a day and 2 snacks a day for under $15 a day.
That's awesome. I love that. And you'll have this available at the grocery store tours.
Yes.
So you guys should come to that so that you can, because this is amazing. She's got your entire list on here. And it's all healthy things. And then she's got snacks and everything for you. I mean, she's got spaghetti on here. Yes, please. Always. And she's got beef, and I mean, so this isn't like one of those menus where you're really kind of missing a lot of things and you're eating lettuce with vinegar on it because nobody likes that. And if they say they do, they're lying. So anyway, so definitely check out their grocery tours. Do y'all have any other events that you'd like to chat about, or is that kind of your big one right now?
Well, that's a big one, but we're also going to be out at Wild and Wacky Wednesday on March 8th. So we will have information on hydration, which is especially important as the months are getting hotter. We'll be giving quick, 10-minute nutrition seminars about various topics.
Cool.
So that'll be an interesting time. And then we're also going to be talking about the importance of skin safety.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a big one around here. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming out. We
Thank you for having
appreciate
me.
it. Absolutely. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Keep track of us. We are actually going to be talking to CASA next month with Leticia Villarreal. We're going to talk about kind of studying and peer tutoring and all of that jazz as we get close to finals. I know we don't want to think about that, but we absolutely want to think about that. Also, starting March 25th, we're going to have a financial seminar. Our first topics are going to be budgets and banking. And then the second portion of that will be April 22nd, and we'll talk about credit and housing. So those are free to the public and to students. So please sign up for those. We'll feed you breakfast, keep you caffeinated, and teach you some financial tips that are really, really, really amazing. Okay? Thank y'all so much. Happy Friday!